Now, look at this one. The man literally jumps sideways into his defender and gets the call.
No, we were supposed to cut that out years ago. That's thanks to James Harden. That's not supposed to be in the game anymore, guys.
It's unbelievable.
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a good day. So I got a request to check out this video, and well, it's about SGA, our current MVP, and this is coming to you from a channel called Hoop Reports. And this video is titled, "Is the NBA MVP a cheater?" I am assuming he's talking about foul baiting, but we'll find out real soon, because as far as I know, that's the only thing any of us really have against the dude, is foul baiting. And foul baiting is, well, bottom line, I hate foul baiting. I prefer it over straight up flopping, but I don't think foul baiting has ever been good for the game. It started introducing itself like in the early 2000s, I would say. Maybe the late 90s, but I would say the early 2000s, and it's gotten to a ridiculous point. So anyways, let's see what this is all about. I'm going to link the original video into the description for you, right underneath. And in there, you'll see a list of channel members. Thank you all, channel members. I appreciate you all. You guys are fantastic. Guys, like the vid. If you haven't done it, I'd appreciate it. And I think that's it. Just in case I'm wrong about the foul baiting thing, I don't want to go on about it and have this be about something completely different. So let's check this out. Here we go.
The other night, I watched SGA drive downhill, shove his defender with his offhand, hit the shot, and somehow he got the foul call.
Oh, how's that? How do you get a call on that? By the way, this was requested from the comments, so thank you for this request. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's a terrible call.
That's just one of the millions of times where he's flopped, embellished, manipulated the system, and we all know it.
I feel like Shai is getting this whistle that nobody else in the playoffs is getting.
And then he got 9 free throws in the first quarter. It's a lot for one player.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is treated by the refs as if he's playing by a different set of rules.
What frustrates everyone is the fact that the other players don't get these calls. They get hacked, slammed, ignored. And the strangest part, the NBA didn't just watch this happen.
They rewarded them for it.
They rewarded it with an MVP trophy. So now, I'm asking the question.
Let me know in the comments, guys, who did you have for the MVP this year? I honestly had Jokic, I know, again. But the dude was just, he hit a new level this year, and I didn't even know that was possible for him to do. But I'm curious what you guys think. Who was your MVP?
Question every real NBA fan should be asking. What's really going on here? Well, to answer that one simple question, I did my homework, spent hours watching film, dug through the numbers, and then looked even deeper at what those numbers might be hiding. And what I found tells a story that nobody ever really talks about. Hey guys, a while back my computer got hacked. Someone stole my credit card information and started racking up charges.
Oh, ad time.
Luckily, they didn't get into my Hoop Reports YouTube account. Because if they had, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, I hear it
If I
happens
had to
all the
guess
time,
where it
too.
happened, probably while using public Wi-Fi at a cafe, a library, maybe even while traveling. I didn't realize this before, but public Wi-Fi is one of the easiest ways for hackers to steal your data.
Damn.
That's why I'm working with today's sponsor,
NordVPN.
NordVPN. If you're like me, always using public Wi-Fi at cafes, libraries, or airports, NordVPN protects your connection so you don't fall into hidden traps. And here's what I love. They've got a built-in dark web monitor that scans the dark web and alerts you if your data is already out there.
Wow.
It's so simple to use, super fast. And now, I don't go online publicly without it anymore. So don't wait for something bad to happen like I did. Protect yourself now with NordVPN And right now, you can get their 2-year plan plus 4 extra months at NordVPN.com/HoopReports. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guaranteed.
Sorry, you guys. I know I could skip the ads, but I feel like it's right to play the ads.
I like SGA. He's a family team first kind of guy. Focused, grounded, and never one to get caught up in drama or distractions. He carries himself with poise and leads the NBA's top team with the maturity of a true pro. And when it comes to pure skills, he's one of the best in the league.
Shai, what a move! Pulls up and puts it in!
But with all that being said, however, every time I watch him play, I feel the same frustration fans do.
Ooh.
Shai is painful to watch. He's really making the Thunder unwatchable, and now the Western Conference Finals is unwatchable. I mean, seriously, what the is even the point of watching? Meanwhile, Silver is scratching his head as to why viewership is down.
Right.
The internet is actually blowing up over this, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Take this play for
I've been
example.
noticing too.
SGA clearly trips over himself, but somehow the refs still blow the whistle.
Pick and roll. I don't know if that's a foul.
Dude, he's initiating all the contact with his offhand. I mean, so far, it's a pattern I'm noticing. That was him. That's all him, that contact. So what, he's going to fall down now?
I think he lost his balance. We're going to have to check that out on replay.
Oh, man.
Or look at this one, where he jumps, flails his legs midair, and gets the call.
Oh, man.
This was so egregious that every Nugget on the floor threw their hands up in disbelief. And just look at Jamal here, trying to explain to the ref what actually happened.
Yeah, he just flopped around.
Now, look at this one. The man literally jumps sideways into his defender and gets the call.
No, we were supposed to cut that out years ago. That's thanks to James Harden. That's not supposed to be in the game anymore, guys.
It's unbelievable. Game after game, on the biggest stages in basketball, we're watching someone manipulate the system to such a degree that he becomes unguardable.
Man, with the calls that Shai gets, it's hard. It's hard to shut him down. You can't touch him at any time of the game.
No one's saying Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't a great player. But when your most effective weapon is getting to the line, people are going to start talking.
Mm-hmm. It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. And then, you can't really touch Shai.
Jeez.
If the calls are the same,
so no one is saying it's anybody else. It's just Shai.
On both ends, fine. That's fair.
Oof.
But the truth is, other players don't get the same treatment. I mean, just look at Ant here. He's getting bumped on the drive, hit at the rim on the way up, and still no whistle. Or check out this play. Edwards takes contact on the way to the rim. Then SGA puts both hands on him as he goes up.
Yeah, that's a defensive foul, right? Right here you'd have a case for a charge, but look at his leg. He's about to lift it up in the air. You got to have both feet planted.
SGA puts
boom right there. Yeah, he even jumped a little bit. That's a foul.
Both hands on him as he goes up. But again, there's no whistle.
That's a hell of a shot, man.
And don't even get me started on Steph Curry. He's been getting tossed around all season like it's part NFL, part NHL.
And he was, especially, in this round against Houston, he was getting, they were knocking him all over the place. And as much as I liked it, dude, if you're going to let this happen, let it happen all season so that the player isn't shocked by it in the playoffs and ends up getting injured, Give him a little bit of warm-up time until we get to the playoffs to know, hey, this is what kind of contact your body has to be used to going in.
And still can't buy a trip to the line. I know this is just a small sample, but this is exactly what we're seeing night after night.
Yeah, it's valid.
Now, the real question is, do the numbers actually back up the eye test? Is there solid data to support what we're seeing?
Okay.
In the 2025 postseason, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is averaging 9 free throws per game, But honestly, given the playoff landscape, that number doesn't sound all that outrageous. So, if this is the case, why does he have nicknames like Free Throw Merchant or Foul Artist?
Foul Artist.
Well, let's dig deeper. For the 2025 playoffs, SGA is taking 16 shots from inside the arc, where defenders are most called for fouls. Now, let's compare him to 4 other superstar guards: Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, Jalen Brunson, and Tyrese Halliburton. At first glance, yeah, they get to the line less than SGA. But at the same time, they just don't take as many shots inside the arc. So here's the $1 million question. What if they did?
Okay.
Well, let's normalize everything here. If every player took 16 shots inside the arc, just like SGA, meaning we ignore threes and focus strictly on the areas where fouls are most often called, here's what the numbers reveal.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah. So, if we're strictly going by the numbers, the foul calls for Shai don't look all that outrageous. In fact, they seem pretty reasonable. It just looks like he attacks the paint more. Even if you dig into other numbers, like how his free throws stack up against past MVPs, or advanced stats like drives per game, it all points to the same thing. He's not getting more favorable treatment than other high-volume foul drawers.
Yeah, look at Embiid in 2023.
So, wait. Does this end the conversation? Does this mean the free throw merchant label is totally unfair? Just a side effect of how much Shai attacks the paint?
Wait. Is Harden in here? Wow. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that was going to be much higher. Huh.
Is totally unfair?
Excuse me.
Just a side effect of how much Shai attacks the paint? Do we owe SGA an apology? Did we slander the man for no reason? Should everyone who called him a free throw merchant maybe write a little sorry bro in the group chat?
No, because even if the stats aren't supporting it, like just watching this stuff is pretty brutal. Like this is rough to watch. Look at it. Damn.
Well,
it's still foul baiting, no matter what we want to call it.
In 1954, Darrell Huff published one of the best-selling stats books of all time. It was called How to Lie with Statistics. And it didn't just sell copies, it sold strategies. And the very first lesson in the book? Averages can be manipulated like crazy. Which brings us to SGA. Now, this isn't a fact, just a theory, a possibility. But stick with me, and you'll see how deep the rabbit hole might
Yikes.
go. One of the easiest ways to manipulate averages, especially free throw averages, is to skew the numbers.
Okay.
Here's what I mean. Don't give players free throws in blowouts where the calls aren't needed. But in close games, give them every whistle and make them untouchable.
Oh, it's like the Lakers rule when LeBron's on.
Those quiet blowout games bring down his average. So when you glance at the overall averages, it all looks fair, balanced, reasonable.
Interesting.
Now, I'm not saying this is what's definitely happening, but it's one clear example of how numbers can lie. Another trick Huff points out, a big one, is called bias by omission.
Okay.
Now, here's what that looks like. In the 2025 regular season alone, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 7 games with 15 or more free throws. Now, let's look at Steph Curry, a guy who gets hacked.
Yeah, the Vanderbilt was just... That guy can hoop, but he was holding on to Steph so much. That was what was frustrating me. It wasn't the bumping and all that. I like that in the game. But he was actually, like you see it right now in front of you, he was wrapping his arms around Curry constantly, preventing him from doing his normal Curry thing off ball. And he was never getting calls on it. It was blowing my mind that whole series. Like, look at that. Yeah, forget bumps. Like, just watch this. I won't pause this time.
Now, let's look at Steph Curry, a guy who gets hacked, bumped, grabbed,
Yeah, he's just
shoved,
holding him.
off ball, on ball, every single
Yeah, look
game.
at this. Look, it was actually like this was a strategy by the Rockets, and the refs just let it go on for what? They went 7 games, didn't they?
Now, guess how many 15-plus free throw games he's had?
0.
Not
this
in
year?
2025, not over the last few seasons, across his entire 16-year career.
Okay, I don't know.
Take a guess. 20? Nope. 10.
Okay,
Try.
I mean, considering the way he plays, probably 0. Because he's not out there just like initiating contact all the time. He's looking for a clear look mostly.
Again. 7. Still wrong.
0?
The answer is 3.
3. Okay.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, no kidding.
SGA doubled Steph's 16-year career total of 15-plus free throw games in just one season.
Wow. Hold up. Dang. All in 1 year. Okay, yeah, now you're cooking.
Plus free throw games in just one season.
Jeez.
The stats won't show what isn't called, because if the whistle never blows, it's never recorded. And this is what's called bias by omission.
Damn.
Now, I get it. Some of you are probably thinking, all right, interesting theory, but there's no hard proof that this is happening with Shai. This just sounds like another wild conspiracy.
I don't know. A lot of people watching with their own eyes have been critiquing the exact same thing. So the eye test doesn't lie. Oh, boy.
Fair enough. Innocent until proven guilty.
And what does that mean? Does that mean the league had a campaign to basically give us a different MVP other than Jokic? You know, so they propped SGA up. I'm not saying he's not skilled and talented. Obviously he is. But why we'd give him all these calls?
Right? That's how it works in courtrooms. You need hard evidence, clear facts, undeniable proof. Something you can observe, verify, and lay out without question. But here's the other side of that coin.
Yeah, what you've provided here so far is providing some matching evidence to the eye test, but it's still not like, you know, we can't go to court with it. But it does definitely support what we're seeing. Okay. Great video,
Let me
by
ask
the way.
you something. Suppose the basketball
Yeah,
gods
if you guys aren't subscribed to this, like, link is down below for you guys. It's 356K subscribers now. Hell yeah.
told you it was true, that Shai Gilgeous Alexander is, in fact, gaming the system, or that the NBA is actually giving him a boost, helping him rack up more free throws than he really deserves.
Yeah.
Now, it's on you to prove it. But how would you even start? What would actual proof even look like?
I know.
Well, I thought long and hard about it. And honestly, there are only a few ways you could prove it. But the truth is, every one of them is basically impossible. I mean, first, there's option 1.
Yeah.
The NBA comes out and flat out admits they're influencing calls to help SGA.
Never gonna happen.
But let's be real.
Yep.
That's never going to happen.
Yeah, we give a big old X there.
So that brings us to option 2.
Track everything.
You'd have to track every single call and every missed one in every single game. But let's be honest, that kind of analysis is impossible right now. Then, like I already showed,
We have to set AI on a mission to do this.
even if you dive deep into advanced statistics, we've already seen how numbers can be skewed and how bias by omission warps the picture. So, like I said, getting absolute proof is pretty much impossible. So, does that mean we're left with nothing? No evidence? No case? Just the fact that he moves well, sells contact, and somehow keeps getting to the line? Well, not exactly either. Let's take a look at what we do have. Points 1 and 2 are pretty clear. I've already touched on those, so let's jump straight to number 3.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that the NBA has always built its brand on faces. And now, with LeBron, Steph, and
conspiracy, but Ant-Man did publicly say, I don't want to be the face of the league. And then he goes head-to-head against SGA in the playoffs, and SGA gets all the calls. I don't have proof, but I'm just saying it looks a little sus, man. Same way as Cooper Flag going to the Mavericks looks sus. We can't prove anything, but we're watching.
and KD aging out, the league needs its next star. And SGA? Well, for starters, he's got a Kobe-like game, and beyond that, he checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
He fits the mold almost perfectly. Points 4 and 5 edge into conspiracy territory, but they're compelling and have ignited some of the biggest debates in NBA circles. So no, there's no clear-cut evidence, nothing you can take into a courtroom and say, look, this is undeniable proof that SGA's cheating, or that the NBA is giving him special treatment. But the breadcrumbs are everywhere.
I know.
Plenty of them.
Yep.
And let's be honest, shady stuff happens in the NBA
all the time. 1.8%
honestly,
chance.
This isn't just about basketball. It's a reminder for all of us. In life, we're constantly being fed polished
Fire
narratives. But the truth is,
there's supposedly he's trying to do a fire festival too, for anyone crazy enough to join it.
people lie. Data gets manipulated. And while we wait around for some official explanation...
Yo, is this footage from Star Citizen? Oh, no, wait. Bro, come on. There's got to be Star Citizen. I'm a huge Wing Commander fan. I know, nerd.
The real answer is often right there, hiding in plain sight. Learning to ask better questions, to look beyond the numbers, to understand the intent behind what we're being shown.
Whoa. Dude, I was so in love with Sharapova back in the day. I didn't know she was doping. International Tennis Federation on Wednesday for proving or testing positive for banned substance, meldonium. Interesting. I still love you, Maria. Look at you.
That's a skill we all need in today's world. But if we blindly trust the headline, the highlight, or the stat sheet, we miss what really matters.
Oh, Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, you got what you got.
So, to answer the question, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander actually cheating the system or getting help from the NBA?
Both, probably.
Well, I'll leave you with two thoughts about this. One, sometimes what you see is more real than what you can prove. And two, SGA isn't exactly doing himself any favors.
Yeah. Damn. Great video, first of all. Thank you for the suggestion to watch this, too. A couple things come to mind. One, does that mean LeBron's not going to get all the calls anymore and we're going to switch over to SGA and just give him all the calls because he's going to be the new face of the league? I don't know. I don't like it regardless. It's hard to deny that it seems like a pretty obvious campaign right now for the NBA to have OKC the champion and SGA the new face of the league. I don't know. I'm sure they offered it to Ant, and Ant didn't want it because he publicly said he didn't want it. I just don't know. Not like this. I don't want it like this. You know, we don't need a face of the league that badly when we have this much talent to the point where we have to like artificially prop this person up. I really don't like that at all. And I understand Jokic is not going to be the face of the league because, you know, he shows up, he does his job, and then he goes home. You know what I mean? Like, that's who he is. He's not the guy who's going to want to do all this extra work for the NBA or like extra promotional, you know, material for the NBA. He's not that guy. He doesn't want to be that guy. So I understand. Does it make it fair that he gets, you know, looked past when it comes to being on people's all-time great list or him being cheated out on multiple MVPs, in my opinion? He deserved it over Embiid, and I think he deserved it this year too. It's not like, you know, I'm not the biggest Jokic fan out there, but I respect what I see, and I see the guy improving. and he just goes out there and plays his butt off every night, and he's not cheating the game, you know. I'll just say it straight. So I don't know how I feel. I mean, obviously I know how I feel about this. I don't like any of it, but now that we've caught it so early on, I wonder if the NBA is going to take a U-turn a little bit and back off on this and see if SGA can get it done naturally. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys have to say. I'm disappointed. Not in the video. I'm disappointed just, you know, in the reality of it. But, you know, we look forward to like LeBron retiring soon. But then if we're going to do this all over again for somebody else, that's not cool. So anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Please put your thoughts down below on this. I'm really curious what you guys have to say about it. We'll have a good old conversation like we always do. Yeah, guys, like the vid if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, don't cheat. But even more importantly, be water, my friends.